positive about the situation.
Right. Okay. All right.
Billy, I have to ask, what are some of the areas or industries where empowering a person or employee is important?
It's coming 8:30, so we're getting to the workplace right now. Actually, I think, again, it's just like the definition that's very general, that's very open, it's very encompassing. It applies to every area, it applies to every job destination, it applies to all industry. Some of the things that industries are facing these days is about succession. So it's about leaders training people to become leaders that will take over them when they retire.
Right.
And so empowerment comes in. So this is a good time to be empowering people.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you also get people who don't want to be work as a bank teller for the rest of her lives.
Right.
Yep.
And these are people who could benefit from empowerment.
Okay.
All right, but empowerment doesn't necessarily have to be coming from other people.
Right.
Right, you can self-manage. So leaders in organizations, you got to begin by managing yourself. See how well you are at leading other people is actually determined by the way you lead yourself. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the rest of us who are in positions whereby, you got to be waiting for someone to empower you. No, you start doing things that empower yourself. I haven't come across any bosses who will be promoting people because I think the person can, but rather this person has shown that this person can.
Right.
So then you become the first
Right.
to be formally empowered, or because you have empowered yourself.
Right.
So don't wait for companies to organize the training for you. Don't wait for your bosses to come empower you. Talk to them. Tell them what you want. Share your aspirations, your ambitions, and then take up training on your own, because you have your own strengths, your own weaknesses that you need to brush up. Then just go ahead and take action and do something
That's
about it.
brilliant, because I think a lot of the times, especially when you do work, you do rely on your boss to, inspire you, motivate you,
Yeah.
empower you. In actual fact, really, that should come from yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
from within.
I got a feeling that the bosses are happy to hear this now.
Yes, well, I hope so. They're like, yay, I don't need to motivate Sarah anymore.
So just in a nutshell, live by design, not by default. Don't let situations let you. You
Right.
lead the situations.
Right. Okay.
Ooh,
well,
yeah.
there you go. Zach,
I'm writing
we
it
got no
down.
more excuses. All right. We'd like to know, Dr. Kueek. Okay. Well, Billy, how will one know when one is empowered? I mean, are there signs or some kind of thing? Like, are you floating off the ground or for some moment or something like that? What are the signs?
Very good question. Whatever happens on the inside reflects on the outside. So there are
Okay.
always signs that people will display. I recall a time when I have to be staying with my sister, and I was working in the day, and then at night I was doing night classes with my degrees and whatnot. So when you
Okay.
get back home, it's like near midnight, and you got to be doing your study and writing your assignments and stuff like that. And then there is only that 4 to 6 hours to sleep, which means you really need good sleep. My
Right.
nephew, Darren, at that time would be a baby, and he would cry at the best time.
Oh, dear. Okay.
And it was so irritating for me that I just couldn't help it. One night I look at my brother-in-law and say, hey, why are you smiling? I mean, don't you find that irritating? He told me, yeah, but Billy, you got to look at the brighter side. I said, what's the brighter side? That's not my son. Can you put alcohol into the milk? And then he told me, he said, no, the brighter side for you is that you got a wonderful sister. I said, how's my sister wonderful? See, your sister can make milk with her legs. I'm like, what? Yeah, she kicked me. So he came out making milk, which could possibly mean that it was by force, but he chose to think of it differently, meaning he'd take it as empowerment. So he come out smiling. And by him sharing something like that with me, the next time baby Darren cry is no longer irritating and frustrating for me.
All right. Then you had a smile on your face.
And I go like, hey, I know how to make milk. When the time comes. Now, from the professional perspective, right?
Yep.
Professional coaches, trainers, and all should all have been trained to heighten their sensory acuity and observational skills.
Okay.
Which means we are able to look at minute shifts and changes. So not all the clients who come to us for coaching, for empowerment, would realize that they are indeed getting a breakthrough or experiencing a breakthrough. For some people, some ideas would take a while for them to set in, and before they realize it later on. So we got to be trained, and you got to be sharp enough to pick up signs like the little pupil dilation, the skin tone changes, breathing
Wow.
changes, the shifts, and just minor, small little signs All right, because these are all signs that there's a change that is been taking place.
Wow. Okay. So something as small as a pupil dilation
There
or
you
something.
go.
Okay, Billy. I mean, generally, if you're a positive person, are you seen as an empowered person?
Generally, if you are a positive person, yes, you are an empowered person.
Right.
But for people who are by nature blessed with more positiveness in your life,
Right.
and therefore you are a more positive person, please go empower other people.
Oh, okay.
So instead of feeling hurt when other people do things to you, feeling sad, feeling bad, just understand that hurting people hurt others.
Right. Okay. Okay. There you
Whoa.
go, Zach.
What?
Don't hurt people.
I always tell you jokes, Sarah.
And that brings laughter. That itself is form of
There you go.
empowerment.
My comment is this, basically empowerment is a basic nature of every human. It started in the days of the caveman when caveman has to eat and survive.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, basic instinct, and then unfortunately it's been diminished by the culture of handouts and stuff like that.
Okay, it's an interesting comment that empowerment is diminishing, but I mean, really, empowerment began from the caveman, stage.
Sure, during those days, I suppose Daddy
mean-
Caveman would be empowering son caveman how to hunt, how to protect the family, build the
Yeah.
house,
Okay.
repair the bridges. Yeah. So I really think it starts from there, and Willis is very right to the point that empowerment is within every one of us. It's in us. It's
Right.
a nature. It's a part of us, actually.
Right. Actually, Willis has called us in the past, and that was about whether we had a discussion one week about how bosses don't praise their staff enough.
Yeah.
And I remember Willis called in, and he was the only guy that said, when my staff do a good job, we all sit down as a team.
Right.
We celebrate in that one thing.
Yes,
He's
yes.
been to your seminar now,
That's
Billy. So,
right.
and I remember me and Zach both remember commenting on how cool that was that he actually sat down with his team and did
Exactly.
that. So, I mean, in many ways, he's empowering his team
There
to
you go.
rejoice in one person's, success.
To celebrate what's right. There are already so many things is wrong with the world. When he said that empowerment is diminishing, I don't think it's diminishing as in, it's lacking. There are a lot of self-help books available right
Right.
now. The
Right.
internet has tremendous resource. The problem is whether people do pick them up or not.
Right.
We got bigger homes, bigger houses. Are they better homes?
Right.
We got wider highways, but narrow mindsets.
Right, yes.
So it's becoming like a bit of a paradox.
Okay, I'd like to ask a question. When you empower a person, they start doing more than you've ever asked for. Is that kind of giving away like a little bit of your control? Is that what people think when they work? Like if you're a manager and you're trying to empower your staff and they do more than you ask them to, and they come back and you kind of feel like you've lost a little bit of that control.
I think if you're looking at it from a perspective as a manager, as a leader,
Yeah.
I think the traditional manager, the leader, works with two pieces of glass. One is the glass that he used to look out to his team of people sitting outside his room.
Okay.
The other would be a piece of glass, the mirror that he's facing.
Okay.
When there are credits to be received, does a good leader
Right.
look out of the glass, the window to his people,
Right.
or does he look at the mirror first? When there's blame to be
that's
shouldered,
good,
does
that's
the
good.
leader look at the mirror first or
Right.
look outside the
Right,
glass?
right.
So really,
I always look in the mirror. No, just kidding.
empowering is not about losing control. Empowering is about developing people. It's about inspiring people.
Right.
It's about adding value to people. Look,
Right.
one of these days you're going to be gone. Why do you want to hang on to the chair?
Right.
And if you don't bring your people to come up to your position, you cannot go up.
Right.
Right.
Okay, Billy, your final thoughts on empowerment in life and how that affects us and all that.
I think I'll just summarize it in 2 sentences. We often overestimate the power of difficulties and we underestimate the power of possibilities. Seek the positive. And let me also take this opportunity to invite your listeners to come to Jobs DB Career Expo
Right.
from the 7th to 9th of May at the KLCC, because that's where we are being appointed
Right.
as the official training partner. And I've got lineups of all our team of trainers and coaches being there at the auditorium throughout the whole day. There will be workshops, seminars, and so come
Wow,
and
that's
be
gonna
empowered.
be cool. That's gonna be cool. And if that's not enough, if you shake Billy's hand 3 times, he may be able to hypnotize you. So we've been told. We're gonna try that out later. Billy, thank you very much for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thank you
in
for
the
having me.
studios.
Thank you.